In this video, we will be looking for some advanced conditional formatting. Let's see that. We have some 3 examples given. I have the first example that is highlighting one column value. I have some data here given, that is top products, that is product code, quantity and price. What is happening is, in this column I have products like mobile, camera, laptop, cosmetics. If I type here camera, in this column wherever the camera appears, that should be highlighted. That is what you call highlight one column values. So now what I'll do is, if I want to highlight one column values, I'll select this entire column. I'll not select the entire record, entire data. I'll select only one column and I'll go to this home tab, new rule, and there are many options available, but right now what formula will be working it. I'll go to this use a formula to determine which cells to format. Now if you see carefully, I want to compare this column values with this particular cell. So what formula I'll be using it? I'll be using is equal to, that is $A5. I'll remove the dollar sign because it's a relative reference, equal to, and I want to compare with this fixed cell. So this is the only function I have to use, and I'll just go to this format and change the format here, and I'll click on OK. So now this is the formula which I've used, and I'll click on OK. So wherever this value satisfies, when it is true, that time only this color will be applied. So I'll click on OK. So if you see, the camera is highlighted. Now if I change the option here, if I change it to, let's say, mobile, enter. So you see mobile, it is appearing 3 times, so it has changed. So if I type here, let's say I'll type here laptop, enter. So laptop is appearing twice. If I type here perfumes, enter. So perfumes appearing twice. So this method you can highlight the one column values. Next one is, similarly, if let's a bit more advanced. What is that? If I get something, let's say shoes, so the entire record for the shoes should get selected. So if you see, highlight entire record. So if you want to highlight entire record, if you want to put a conditional formatting for entire record, you have to select the entire database. How do you select it? You use your mouse and you can select this entire database, or else second option is, you just keep your cursor and you can just select this, the entire database. Next option is, you can go to the home tab and you can go to this new rule, use a formula to determine. Now what I'll do is, I want to compare this cell, fixed cell, with this column values. I do not want to compare with other values. So I'll use a function here, equal to this cell. I'll press F4. So what I've done is, I have locked the column, I have records which I have opened it. I want to compare with this cell, that is F16, and I'll change the format. I'll choose some other yellow color format. Okay. So whenever this condition is satisfied, the entire record will be highlighted. I'll click on OK. You see, if I select here shoes, the shoes is getting highlighted, the entire record. If I type here mobile record is highlighted. Let's see one more, camera, it's getting highlighted. So this is working fine. Now highlighting entire record, this was the formula I've written here for your understanding. Next is, if I want to highlight column and row at the same time. For example, if you see, I have 3 countries names which are the column headings. If I type here China, this column should get highlighted, and second one is, if I type here laptop, this row should get highlighted. The laptop row is 32 row. Okay. If you remember, we have seen this highlighting the row in the previous example. Now something new in this column, how do I highlight? Similarly, select the area which you want to highlight. So I'll select this area which I want to highlight, and I'll go to this home tab, conditional formatting, new rule, and I'll go to this use a formula to determine. Select the same option which I have selected earlier. I'll press F4, equal to, change the format. Okay. No change in the previous function formula and this one, because I've used the same formula here for highlighting records, and I'll click on OK. So if it comes laptop, the laptop row should get highlighted, which is perfectly fine. There's something new which I'm showing you, how to highlight the columns. Similarly, right now the data is already selected, if you see, and I'll go to this conditional formatting, click on new rule. Now I want to compare this cell with this column heading. So what I'll do is, I'll click on this use a formula to determine, and I'll select this F4. This is fine, because B column I have opened, that is the column I have opened, and row I have highlighted, that is fixed, I have done it. So C26, D26, B26, everything will be there, and I want to compare this with a fixed cell, that is this cell number, that is G27, and I'll click on, I'll change the format. The format would be this one, let's say yellow color, and I click on OK. So earlier, if you remember, that was column fixed, now it is row fixed, and I'll click on OK. So if you see, if I select China, the entire column gets highlighted. If I select here Singapore, Singapore should get highlighted. So this way you can use highlighting columns and rows at the same time also, which looks beautiful. So I hope you have understood how do you highlight the one column values, how do you highlight the entire records, and also how do you highlight the columns and rows at the same time. So I hope you understood. That's all for this video.